Hey everyone, and welcome to Sagas of the Shimmering Seas. This is the Chosen Few, and we're in the midst of dungeon crawling. I was supposed to tweet that. Sagas of the Shimmering Seas, the Chosen Few. Oh, bam. Whatever. Back to it. So we are in the midst of a dungeon crawl. We are figuring out what's going on here. We are on a quest to find the shattered part of a jewel which seems to be containing the soul of Illumina Starborn. For those of you that don't know, Illumina Starborn is the founder of the Grand Accord and sort of a big activist for peace, and may also be the secret defunct sister of the Empress's daughter or something like that. It's all a lot to be going on, and there's a lot going on. But meanwhile, we've entered into this horrific place, relatively newish place, and there's been a lot of creepy things and a lot of death, including some members of the Grand Accord that have died. So, not these members of the Grand Accord. These guys are really
Not
powerful.
yet.
Not yet. It's true. We'll see.
That's
Fingers
the
crossed.
spirit.
Fingers crossed. And yeah, but here they are, and let's see. We entered into a room that was like very well designed to destroy everything about them, but my players beat me on initiative handily and were able to completely remove my catapults, and then only had to deal with the golem, which they defeated handily. And then came across a runed circle, which they kind of found was trapping the spirit of tiefling. And that's, I think, where we left off, if I'm
Mhm.
not mistaken. My memory is not good, and I did not, and by memory, I don't mean last week, I mean 14 minutes ago when I looked at the last time previously on. Uh, so, yeah, there we go.
The
This is,
last thing I remember was dispelling the rune,
mhm, that's exactly
and
right.
yeah, and then um there was something about, oh, we saw the spirit of the dead tiefling, like,
Mhm,
was suddenly like
there.
aware of himself again.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So the spirit of the dead tiefling is there, aware of themselves, and she looks at you guys, and she says, "Oh my God, I can feel things again. What happened?"
Um, so Lexa is just kind of like looking around at the party and being like, this is like very uncomfortable.
Question.
Oh,
And
Are
I
is
think she actually
Celexa
says that. She actually says that. She says this is very uncomfortable.
just a quick question? Is Celexa looking around at the party, or is your imp?
Oh yes, Kumi is looking
Kumi.
around at the party.
Okay, just
Um,
curious.
Thank you. Yes, yeah. Um, I Narash, Timothy, can you like do anything about this
oh yes.
situation?
Sorry. Hello. This will come as a shock, but I think you were dead, or still are, sort of. It's debatable. Look,
That's really inconvenient.
yes. I also we only have a minute, so let's cut to the chase. Would you like to be living again? I don't want to be presumptuous. Some people like to move on. I hear.
No, I would very much prefer not to have died.
Okay, well, let's get doing this then.
Okay, and you're gonna attempt to revivify.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. So you cast Revivify, um, and her spirit gets physically, you see it. I think this is the first time you've ever had like a visible spirit when you're doing this. You've always sort of worked with just the body. And you see as like sort of the spirit just gets like sucked slowly back into the body, piece by piece. It sort of drains. It almost looks like a genie trail, it drains into the body and spirals into it. And she's like, "This is really weird," and then enters into the body, and the body Don't touch this rune.
Yeah, how about you come out of that room?
I was just thinking that's a really good idea. And she starts trying to walk out of the rune and like bonks into an invisible wall.
Oh.
Ow.
So you touched it and it trapped you in there?
Well, yes, it was a slow and agonizing death, but yes.
Let's see. What year was it when you? Silly question. Or what's the last date you remember?
No, not a silly question. I've been dead, so that would make sense that I would want to know that question, the answer to that question. Let's see. It would have been year of the Hydra. So that's 2246. That would make it. Let's see. Yeah, so she gives you a date. She's been dead for about a month and a half.
That's not that bad.
No, that's great. So you are the Grand Accord people, the chosen few.
Is she wearing Grand Accord livery also, or like?
She's kind of not, but in a way that seems not unfamiliar to you. Like she has some of it, but like she doesn't like the style, so she's trying to cover it up a little bit, you know.
Okay.
And so it's like she's wearing like if her collar was a little bit lower, you would see the Grand Accord shirt underneath it, but like it's not a super attractive shirt, so she's too fashionable for that.
Were you here alone?
No, I was one of the advanced scouts that was sent out, but we came in as a group of five.
Oh, that's. Do we know of any advanced scouts who came back from this place? No, nobody has returned, right?
No
Is
one's
that right?
returned. Yeah.
Oh, well, 5, huh? That's interesting. Well, with that many, I guess there's always hope that maybe is it a couple who made it somewhere. I don't know. We'll just
Oh,
have to see.
sure. I'm not too fussed about it, really.
Oh,
Not
yeah.
too attached.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
I mean, they were fine. Don't get me wrong, and I'm all for them, and I'm all for the Grand Accord, of course. But like, whatever. Two,
Yeah.
you got it.
Well,
He's-
what was your mission when you came in?
Well, we were supposed to retrieve the stone of Lumina Starborn when we came here. Clearly, I failed, and I presume because you're here that if they sent the chosen few, that probably means that like everyone has failed thus far.
Rosh is like looking around for the badge that says "chosen few" on them, but I guess that's we're that renowned, huh?
Oh well, I mean, yeah. I mean, all of you are famous. All of you for your choices and your actions and the things that you've done, and also the various cool things that you can do, and all that sort of wild good stuff. There's a lot of reasons why you guys are great. Actually, we've been studying you for. Sorry, yes, you were going to say. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh no, you go on.
I mean, we've been studying you for a little while. I've been really paying attention to some of your exploits and some of the things that you've done, and I'm really impressed and think that it's the greatest thing ever. And that's actually why I joined the Grand Accord in the first place, because I wanted to get closer to see you guys in person and see how you guys work. And just when like things started getting good for me and like I started being able to do things, you guys just I was this close to meeting Celexa for the first time, and you guys just disappeared off to another planet because you guys are like that. And then I got sent here and died.
Yeah. So about that. So you're stuck in some sort of force field.
Oh, And she like reaches out and touches it, and she sort of does like a quick probe around. Doesn't sting or hurt, so I'm gonna guess that it's like a wall of force type thing. If that makes sense. So this should work. And she snaps her fingers, and she disappears, and she reappears right next to Celexa.
Oh,
Perfect.
I'd like to do an insight check because while it doesn't seem like her story is necessarily, she doesn't seem super disingenuous. I just
Yeah.
want to know if this whole fandom thing is for real.
Yeah, feel free.
Can I assist?
Yeah, absolutely. Mhm.
18.
With assistance, that's a 25 actually. Yeah. Uh, fandom. Let's see, fandom. You pick up pretty quickly and pretty easily that she is like particularly the fan of Celexa, but definitely a fan of all of you.
Okay.
And was she the only body in there?
Mhm.
Okay.
Did you encounter? By the way, did we learn your name?
Alexia.
Alexia.
Huh.
Nice to meet you. Narash. You know, one of the newer members of the chosen few.
But no less successful and famous. Have you heard about like some of the things you did in Prion and in and also in well the water place, Chalestra?
I think
Uh,
he has heard of the things that he's done.
Right.
No, Timothy, it's okay, Timothy. I mean,
Oh,
And also, aren't you an alien?
I am an alien. In fact, you know, I actually took these friends to my own home planet. But you know, this is neither here nor there.
That
Lexi,
was really
you
annoying,
can't
by
just-
the way. You shouldn't have done that.
Alexi, you can't just ask if somebody's an alien.
I can't. Really? Why? Wait, what? No. But
That's okay.
Okay.
You know, I'm retaking the power of the word. You know,
Mhm.
reclaiming its.
There are more off-worlders than on-worlders.
true.
You know, I never thought of it like that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nice
Yeah.
way.
Yeah, in your rather short time in this dungeon building, whatever we're in, did you encounter any creatures that were non-humanoid that were sort of scorpion slash eel?
No, mostly weird crosses between like constructs and undead,
Hmm.
Hmm. Good intel.
like that thing.
Oh, yeah. What actually killed you? Do you remember?
That rune that I was inspecting when I was looking at, I was trying to figure out what it said, because my party idiots told me you should look and see what that said. You're the smart one in the group. So I'm like going over there trying to investigate it, and I couldn't really get like a good look at it. And then I just felt like a something. I don't know what it was exactly. And I suddenly was much closer to the room than I intended on being. It wasn't purposeful. I'm not an idiot. I wouldn't get too close to a room that I haven't read. But it just said die, and then I died.
Let's move a little farther from the rune.
I have no objection. I would love it if we moved further from the room.
I'd like to. Sorry, go please.
Oh, what else is in this room that we
Yeah.
haven't explored?
Let's do a full inventory of the stuff in the room, so we know what we're doing with here. So this is a huge hall, decorated extremely and extravagantly on all sides. There's a massive steel cube in the center of this room still. Massive, 20 by 20. That's a lot of steel for a thing to be there. As well as, I would say, doors, 3 sets of doors in different positions. Northern doors, which are double doors and bear the image of a helmeted skull with a glittering fist-sized ruby in the left eye socket. And let's see, then we have Western doors and Eastern doors are sort of the big things in this room that we see easily. Yeah, that's the deal.
I'd like to just take a second to investigate without touching them.
Hmm.
one of the leathery skulls that would have been hurled at us.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Cool. Cool. Can you roll a religion check for me?
13.
They're definitely undead. They're definitely gross. They're sort of permanently frozen in the shape of a munch painting. Is sort of what they look like. And there's like a whole bunch of them. This is definitely not like they're not they're definitely weird looking. If you're not touching them, then nothing else is happening, and you can't recognize. You recognizes them as being undead. But it's a little bit like finding a like a zombified hand or something like that. It's incapable of possibly doing things without more input. Yes. No.
What can we tell about this giant cube?
Yeah. It's giant. It's metal. Looking at it is weird. It seems to have like slightly shifting properties. Why don't you roll an investigation check for me?
Okay.
Can Timothy assist?
Absolutely, you can assist.
Just to clarify, you say it's a cube. Does that mean it has a top to it? Like, is the ceiling taller than the cube?
The ceiling is taller than the cube.
Okay.
It is 20 feet tall, so unless you're doing something to get up high, I'm going to presume that you're not on top of the cube.
Kumi is going to go and like fly up to the top of the room to get a look from above as well.
Absolutely. So first things first, 21 on the
26.
investigation. 26 on the investigation. Well, in that case, you are quite I don't know if you are familiar with the substance, actually. I know I'm familiar with the substance. I know the stream is familiar with the substance, but I don't know if you guys are familiar with this substance. I don't know if you guys have come across it yet. This is a massive cube that is made of some sort of magical substance. It shines brightly like a mirror and seems to have reflective properties.
Um, what does Ruin think of this thing?
That's great. Yeah, okay. So you ask Ruin what you think of this thing, and Ruin says, looks like it'd be hard to destroy.
Interesting.
Wow, that coming from Ruin.
I mean, it just looks like it's gonna, reflect a lot.
Ah, I see. Interesting that you think that maybe it's not a good idea.
Well, that substance, have you seen that substance before? Do you know what it's made of?
No. What is it?
It's called mirror bright.
Okay. What does that do?
It like takes energy and pushes it back where it came from.
Oh yeah, that sounds like a bad idea.
Yeah. I mean, you can maybe control it a little bit. And like it's not indestructible. People have destroyed it before, I think. I mean, I don't really have a good memory for that sort of thing. But
Timothy like does a gentle rapping on the side to see if it's hollow.
It is, and I think as you discover that, Kumi goes up to the top and looks and sees it more than that. It doesn't have anything in top. It doesn't have a top. It is a cube without a full top. It is the walls of it are thick. They are 5 feet thick. So it's like a jack in the box, if that makes sense. And inside of it, Kumi spots what looks like a normal large rock that is bleeding Earth's blood.
Oh.
Hmm.
Is there a hole in the rock?
Yeah, exactly. I was thinking the same.
What are you thinking?
Oh, like the rock that we saw before that we
Oh.
hunted for.
Oh, interesting. No. That makes a lot of sense, but no. Oh man, that makes a lot of sense, but no, not in this case. I like that.
Are we learning this information from Celexa?
The Slex, yeah, I would be relaying this. What Kumi is, what I'm seeing through Kumi. So like
That
there's
seems like
this like pit in the middle. The walls are really thick, and then there's this like weird rock thing that like it really looks like Ruth's blood. I don't know what to tell you. It really looks like Ruth's blood coming out of that rock.
Hmm.
Are you seeing through your familiar?
Yeah, I mean,
That's really
sure.
cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
You know,
Sorry.
I'd like to think that, you know, not everybody can do that, right? Like, why wouldn't you want to?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's a cool idea. I might have to start trying to do that.
Do you have a familiar?
You know, I mean, on the other hand, like, if you can like see normally, like maybe you wouldn't really want to. Like, it's probably not worth it, really, if you think about it that way. Like, it's probably not worth the effort.
No, I mean, it's really cool. Isn't it cool? Guys, tell her it's cool.
I'm just saying, not all have to see through our familiars.
Oh,
necessarily.
yeah, sure.
Just saying.
But I could,
Of course. I'm sure you'd be great at it.
right?
Alexia.
Mm.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Alexia, did your team take care of the catapult in the northwest corner? Was that you?
Yes.
Okay. Which way do you think they went if you had to put money on it?
Well, those of us that were left by this point, probably those of them, I guess. I didn't make it past this point. That's funny to think about. Grammar, you know? Very weird. I don't know. East. We have a one of our members is like very adamant that like you know, given two options, always take the right one when you don't know where you're going. And sometimes that's like literal, like turn right, and sometimes that's like metaphorical, like do the right thing. It's really annoying.
Huh.
I don't know. I think that's kind of deep.
Oh, I mean, yeah, totally deep, right? It's just profound. It's the greatest thing I've ever heard. It's fantastic. I really respect my team.
Clearly, yeah.
Mm.
So should we? I'm asking amongst our crew. Should we try to get this thing? It could be a powerful object. Now that we know what a weapon Earth's blood is.
Quick thought. I don't really know the whole magical physics of the situation, but could the Earth's blood be interacting with the mirror bright in some way that will be detrimental when we touch it?
Oh, that's really smart.
Thank you. I'm good at asking questions. It's a scientific inquiry.
Yeah,
Hey,
and like
Timothy.
asking good questions is smart.
Hey, Timothy.
Yes.
How long is your fishing line?
How long is my fishing line? Pretty long. I mean, about 100 yards.
Oh my god.
Why? I don't follow.
There's like, think of this, the center of the cube as the pond. And in the pond, there's a really big, juicy, what's a kind of fish?
Trout.
Are you sure that's a kind of fish? That
I
doesn't
think
sound
that's
right.
the only kind of fish on your planet.
No, it's a kind of fish.
Oh, okay, I guess. All right. So there's a big juicy trout, I guess,
Okay.
in this pond.
I'm with you so
And
far.
your job
Hmm.
to see if you can reel that sucker in. Just, reel him in.
Timothy goes on a rant about the tensile strength of how it's only rated for a yank pull of so many
Yeah.
pounds, but he says he'll try.
Okay. Absolutely. So how strong is your fishing rod? Is your fishing reel? Like what would be a big catch for you? Wait.
We've established that he goes after like river monsters, right?
Yeah.
So I would say like 400 to 500 pounds.
Okay.
Keep in mind that's in the water. So
Yeah. Okay. So, okay, I'm choosing to do this based on reality. I don't know why I'm choosing to do it based on reality, but I'm choosing to do this based on reality. So, boulders typically weigh about 150 pounds per cubic foot, depending on what they're made of. Okay. Yeah, I think there's a role here. I think it's got to be an athletics check, or rather, a fishing rod check with your strength.
okay, makes sense. Well, good luck.
I'll use guidance on this.
Take that extra D4.
Thank you.
Can Nova assist if it's a strength check?
Sure. How are you assisting?
I'm like helping him lift the rod.
Oh, physically, like actually, like holding his arm and like you're bracing and supporting him.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think Timothy would allow that?
Oh, absolutely.
Great. Then take advantage on this fishing rod strength check with guidance.
Great. And I will add the guidance. 28.
You're that strong? Wow, that's amazing. I love it.
Oh, that doesn't seem right. Plus 12? Why is it 12?
Let's check your
Or
character.
should it not be? Oh, no, plus expertise.
You have expertise in fishing rods. I love it.
Yeah.
And your strength isn't nothing. You've got a 14 strength.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. No, trust yourself. That's a 28.
Jeez. It's fishing.
It's fishing. Yeah. So you, under enormous weight and strength, you and Nova pull this thing, and it gets up to the top of this it gets up to the edge, and we see like the fishing rod pulling it, and we see like it's like caught on the edge, and you just manage to pull it just a little bit more, and it rolls onto the top of this thing, and then like sort of sits there waffling for a second, and then teeters and falls towards the ground. Nova.
I'm gonna try to catch it.
Okay, roll a dexterity saving throw.
This is a bad idea, but that seems like what Nova would do.
Mm-hmm.
All right, dexterity. It's a 16.
Can you roll 1d100 for me?
Yeah. It's a 4.
Sorry, doing this. Hold on. I'm pulling up a chart that I wasn't expecting to pull up.
Low roll might be good.
What'd you get? You got a 4?
I got a 4.
Blue light suffuses from this as you catch it and seeps into your skin. And Nova, any damage or exhaustion you're experiencing is healed entirely.
Oh! Yes. That's amazing. Oh, I was gonna ask if someone had a healing spell, but I guess it doesn't matter anymore. I was at half hit points.
You're at full now.
Yes.
Oh, good catch there, Nova. That's impressive.
Yeah, I feel great.
Yeah, you have like some more color in your skin now.
Yeah, it's like blue, right?
Huh.
Yeah.
It really brings out your eyes.
Thanks.
Does the mirror bright change at all now that it's
Not for you. Where is Kumi during all this, though?
I think Kumi had perched. Okay, in my mind, they have perched on the tippy top of one of the broken catapults,
Mhm.
and we're just kind of like watching this exciting like fishing operation from up there.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
that's what was that's what I was thinking.
Yeah. Kumi sees into the bottom of this after having gotten this out, the boulder out, it's leaking earth's blood. Kumi can see that there's like a whole pool of earth's blood that's at the bottom of this thing now. We can say it was a boulder, and it was definitely, the boulder was resting on the earth's blood, but like there's a whole pool underneath it of collected stuff.
Wow.
And it's shifting colors. It's mostly blue, but every once in a while there's just this streak of green or red or something going on in it.
Interesting.
You know, I think this might be the time for me to use the powers of the shield to detect color magic nearby.
Yes. 100%. There is color magic nearby. It is all over the place here. Specifically, it's inside the mirror bright, and it's also in this rock that you guys have found.
Does my perception of color magic expand beyond the room that I'm in?
I don't think so. I think it's 50 feet or 150 feet. I don't remember. But the room is big, so it certainly wouldn't expand into the next room.
And I should have looked this up before I said this, but no regrets. Does this benefit or like perception continue for a while?
Yeah, I think it's actually free. You just have to think about it, and then you get the benefits of it. So it's sort of continuous, if you think about it.
Okay.
It's more of a. I think I have it set up so it's one of those abilities that, like, if you remember to use it, you can use it, but you have to remember to think about it, right? It's just like you're expanding your awareness to be aware of certain other things.
So hey everyone, there's prism color magic coming from both the stone and the pool it left behind.
Gross.
So maybe this earth's blood is somehow contaminated. Yes, Alexia.
What's prism or color magic?
Alexia.
Yeah.
No. So young, so naive.
Yeah.
I mean, okay. So just to catch you up, Prism is this kind of god that you just don't want to deal with. I mean, dealing with this thing is it's a little above your pay grade. I mean, it's kind of our thing, really.
Oh, sure. I don't want to step on anyone's toes.
But the color magic is like, when you see all the like swirling colors and things like that, like check out this mirror and you kind of see that sort of like sheen behind it. Probably want to like take a step back and like let the professionals handle it, because that stuff will just mess you up. We have seen things you would not believe and it makes people crazy, and it is just like it's like colors that are like all the colors that exist in your mind, all like mixed together, and then transcending that by 1,000 times until your brain just melts out your ears. So yeah, definitely like keep your distance if you want to keep your sanity. not to scare you or anything. Like you're with us, you'll be fine. But
Are you trying to scare her?
a little bit.
You want to roll intimidation?
Sure.
Narash is gonna just nod like wearily, like
Okay. Intimidation. Oh, this is gonna be unfortunate for her.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I've died once. So not real intent on doing it again.
Mm.
So you tell me to run. And I will run. And I will tell the story of your last moments.
That's very sweet. Thank you.
Alexia, what skills did you bring to the party that you were engaged with before?
Well, I'm an expert in all things. I know a lot. And I like to read and I like to study. And I'm really charming.
So you're a wizard.
Yeah. I mean, that's such a prosaic term, like wizard. Yeah. No, I just know things.
So you're a bard.
I mean, I kind of wish I was, but I'm not really good at telling stories and I'm not really good at inspiring people. And mostly when I try to inspire people, they get annoyed.
Definitely a bard.
In there, girl.
I guess your
I knew you had.
knowledge didn't extend to which runes to read and not read.
I told you I got like pushed or something.
Okay.
I
Oh,
didn't
so-
touch it. I'm not an idiot. Well,
Okay. All right.
Yeah, she
Come on,
wasn't
Beck.
born yesterday. Or reborn yesterday.
or this morning. Or I don't know what time it is.
You said you got what? Was there anybody with you in the room when you were
Yeah,
looking
the
at?
party was here.
Oh, okay.
Hmm.
Clearly did a bad job watching my back. I told you they weren't worth anything, right? Very mediocre party.
Okay.
Nothing
Um,
like you guys.
Yeah.
So you all
just-
took out that one catapult.
Mhm.
But then was there anything else in the room? Something you had to
Mm-mm.
fight?
No, I mean we fought some things in the room before. One of my friends, one of my party members, I should say, died in the spike trap.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, we met him.
Then we avoided the spike traps, and so we came here. And then, yeah, there was a big undead construct thing in the first room. Did you guys have to fight one of those? Well,
No?
I guess the dungeon didn't feel that you needed to fight it or something. Whatever.
Narash's tail's starting to flicker a little bit, and so he's going to wander over to the east door and just press his ear hole up against it and see if he perceives anything.
Absolutely. Let me pull up my map and see what's beyond the east door.
Also, I feel like we were talking about maybe taking a short rest. I remember we talked about that at the during the last fight where Nova was deciding
good.
how much to go full out.
I'm good now, but
Good for you, Nova. Good for you.
I mean, does anyone else need a short rest? I kind of thought it was just me, but
It would help me to, I wouldn't say no. It would help me to stretch my resources a little
Are
bit.
you injured?
Am I injured? No, not particularly.
Oh.
Not particularly. But when you take like a little disco nap and you just like wake up and you feel like you could just take on the world.
Oh yeah, sure. I
kind
have
of
that
feel like
spell.
Sorry?
I have that spell.
Disco
What's
nap?
that? Disco nap?
Well, I mean,
Spell?
cat nap, but yeah.
Alexa
That-
does like cats.
Do you?
They're very charming.
Are they?
They at least think they are.
Alexa, I think, like, low key, like, kicks Noah's ankle. And yeah, well, I mean, catnap, huh? That I guess that sounds like an interesting spell. I don't know. I wouldn't really. It hasn't really, come up on my radar yet. Whatever that means.
I mean, I don't know. It's just like it's like a power nap. I cast the spell and like 3 of you can just like conk out for 10 minutes and then be fine. It's like fast nap.
Oh, well, I definitely, curious about that. We could
Sure, yeah. Who
show
else
us,
needs a cat nap?
take a little shot. Give it a shot. Sorry?
Yeah. Anyone else need a cat nap?
No, just me.
Just you?
The only thing that I would get back is the action surge, which is always useful.
It's true. If you would like it, I mean, she's offering a cat nap. It looks like Celexa wants one.
Does this mean that you can't take a short rest later?
No, it's just a spell.
Okay, yeah, I'm game.
Snaps her fingers, and unless Nova or Celexa resist, they both just like sit down and curl up and take a nap.
We used to buy these on the black market during finals week at college. Very useful in cramming.
Oh,
Yes, just 10 minutes and then you're back to it.
Yeah.
Feel refreshed, feel ready to go. It's a whole thing. We did that at the wizard school.
As Celexa is like feeling sleepy and about to go to sleep, she's like, "Hey, Timothy, can you go look at the catapult thing? I want to get Roderick back."
What is with you and cats?
Shut up.
Yeah, he does that and calls out, "Narash, how's that door looking?"
Narash, behind the door, you hear nothing. I'm not having you roll a perception check because there is nothing to hear.
Are all of these doors, or at least the one that I can see the most clearly right now, are they? What are they made of, and are they entirely kind of like flush? Do they appear thick?
Yeah, this is a metal door, and engraved upon it is a skull. It is not as dramatic as the skull with the ruby eye, which is like a full door relief of skull. This is more like it's almost like it's not as 3-dimensional. It's more it's a flatter depiction than that one.
Classy and understated.
Yeah, super classy, understated. And you feel cool air from there. And I don't know what else you said you were listening. What else are you doing?
Well, so I would like to see if I can perceive any. You say I feel cool air if I perceive where it's coming through, and then I would sort of just lean up against the door and let Rasha ooze their way through any small crevices.
Absolutely. So Rasha oozes through. And are you looking through Rasha's eyes?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. You see a long alcove in which many sarcophagi stand on either side of the hallway. There is rust in the air, and the air is cool and a little stale.
Is the room illuminated? I'm assuming. In some
Yep.
way?
Yeah, seems to be giving off its own light somehow.
Hey, I'm gonna say, hey Thea, check this out.
I connect. Whoa. Looks pretty ominous in there.
Are there other egresses that we see?
Yeah, there's a whole slew. So this it's like sarcophagi line either side of this hallway, which goes down and then turns to the left. So it's an L-shaped hallway.
Oh, I see.
I don't know how far you want to go in without other people, but that's what you can see from where you are. And I mean, I'll just pull up the actual number since I have an actual number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You can see 3 sarcophaguses on your left-hand side, spaced about 5 feet apart. You can see 5 sarcophaguses on your right-hand side, and then you can see 2 that are like against the back wall, which is clearly a hallway that is turned left. So there's probably more.
I'm going to send out to Rasha this thought. Why don't you just walk a few feet down? Just go on. It's okay. You can just come running back if anything happens.
You feel as Rasha grows legs to follow your instructions to the letter and starts walking down the hallway. Yeah. Continues. They continue. There are cobwebs in thick patches along the walls. Nothing seems to stop Rasha.
In that case, I'm going to tell them to just keep going and take a peek around the corner.
Mm-hmm. They peek around the corner and they can from there see 4 more sarcophaguses, 2 on the new left and 2 on the new right, as well as double doors at the end of this. Several of the sarcophaguses, though, stand out to Rasha. Most of them are made of iron and gold and silver, but there's one that's made of, like, again, weird shiny material of some sort, similar to the mirror bright that you just saw. And double doors at the end of this L-shaped hallway.
And so these are all the same size, just different composition.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Rasha will approach the one with the mirror bright, and perhaps kind of crawl up the wall a little ways to sort of see the top of it, see if there's anything apparent in any way that it's marked.
Okay, yeah, Rasha crawls up the top of it, and there seems to be a small, subtle, easily hidden crack in the wall behind it. There's nothing on it itself.
Okay, I think Rasha has obtained their objective of our intel, so I'm going to have them come scuttling back on their 2 legs, because I did say walk, and I think Rasha's enjoying the sort of affectation of, because I imagine them still being a blob on the top with just 2 legs.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly right. I love it.
So Rasha's going to come back and will just jump up onto my knee and then squeeze back into my flesh.
Beautiful. Timothy, you were asked to go check on Roderick.
Yes.
Alexia is going to go with you. And so you guys go over to the thing to check on Roderick. The catapult is very broken. It was like trying to break free, and like the force of it just like broke it entirely. And Alexia is there with you, and she says, "Wow, is that Roderick?"
Yes, that is Roderick.
So she just named her Rod?
Yes.
Huh.
This is the second iteration, to be fair.
The second iteration she named? Did she name the first one?
Yes.
Was it also named Roderick?
No, Rodney.
Oh.
I have a sinking suspicion the third will be Stuart.
Seems like you don't enjoy it.
Yes, well, puns are not really my cup of tea.
You know, I very rarely make puns.
You know what? You can stay. I think we'll get along swimmingly.
Excellent. That's what I was hoping you'd say. So what do? We just reach out and take it? She like reaches out and tries to grab it and tries to pull it. Doesn't go anywhere.
It's an immovable rod, right? So you have to press the button.
That makes a lot of sense. Thank you for teaching this to me, Timothy.
I literally am a teacher. Well, was a teacher. So
I know. I actually got a hand on one of your curriculums once.
you read my thesis?
The one on freshwater fish on the edges of Chalestra.
The edge. Yes, you're right. Yes, exactly.
Yeah. It was it was illuminating. I actually ended up making several copies of it for the for the Wizard's Tower that I was at.
I appreciate that. I think it said do not copy though. So, I don't
Yeah,
care.
but it also said for academic purposes it was okay.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. That's fair.
And that's what it was for, right?
Yeah.
And so I filed it away there, and I found it really useful actually for some of my own projects. So I really appreciate the yeah. Thank you for your help, Timothy.
No, thank you. I'm strange to meet someone who has any interest in fishing or fish or academia.
Well, it's worth pointing out that like fish are in some ways the most unusual life forms on the planet from our perspective. And so by looking at them, we can really uncover a lot. I mean, I don't know if you've read any of um, Dr. Markuson's thesis on deep sea fish.
Hmm.
But a lot of his work has been really, really particularly interesting to me. You know, there's all these there's fish that bring their own light source around. There's fish that don't need any light sources. There's all sorts of weird things like that. Bioluminescence is a particular interest of mine. But I don't know. I just thought I'd share.
Yeah, thank you.
And thank you for bringing me back to life too. That's a whole different thing. But thank you for that too.
That's what I do. And you know how the old saying goes, we know more about outer space than we do about the bottom of the sea. Oh, that is complete bullshit now. That is just wrong. Just blatantly wrong. Never mind.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
true. Now the covering's down.
Yeah, never mind.
We did when there was this covering there that made it like very limited what space was.
Yeah.
Thank you for taking that down too, by the way. That just makes the world so much more exciting.
Let's not talk about that. And don't bring that up to Nova. Don't say that.
Got it.
Yeah.
I won't.
Thank you.
You guys are rested with a short rest. Welcome back. See? Super useful spell. 10 minutes. You go to sleep instantly. It's super easy. You know, I know that like there's some people who have trouble sleeping. I had a friend for a while who was addicted to this spell. It was a little bit of a problem, but I think it's a good spell.
I think while Alexia was sucking up to Timothy, Kumi had turned invisible and was like perched on top of the catapult, looking down and kind of like scowling and like making faces at her, and rolling their eyes. But once they have like figured out that it's broken, Kumi is going to jump down on I think maybe trying to scare Alexia a little bit, like jump down like right onto the rod and press the button and grab it and like fly away, scamper away. Trying to be as disruptive as possible.
Yeah. Jump, shock, startleness, and then is her familiar always that rude?
Well, birds of a feather, fish of a scale, fish of a school.
So Alexa wakes up and is like, oh gosh, That was I feel great. Thank you, Alexia.
Of course,
That
no
was-
problem.
That was an excellent nap. Best nap I've had all day.
Mhm.
So, which way are we headed?
Well, if we go that way, there's a bunch of sarcophagi. Gus's. Kind of a dry air smell in there, but could be interesting.
What's behind that door? Nova points to the north door.
Oh, big staircase.
What's behind that
Down.
door? Nova points to the west door.
Oh, sorry. When you pointed to the west door, she said big staircase. When you pointed to the north door, she said, no idea.
How do you know about that door?
Well, Mika opened it.
Who did?
One of my teammates.
And then you died.
Yeah.
Mm.
I mean, she was fleeing.
Ah.
Didn't want
Yeah.
to get hit by, the catapults.
So the north door, I think before we make a decision, just I think we should inspect the ruby in the north door.
Sure.
So I want to kind of go and look at it to see if it's emanating any kind of menace or magic, although I don't have detect magic to cast on it. I
Sure.
guess I'll just use my senses.
Your senses to see. Yeah, why don't you roll an investigation check for me?
And Nova assist.
Yeah, absolutely. The two of you can look at it together. So make this roll at advantage, Narash.
Oh my god. Thank goodness, because that was a 4 and a 17.
So it doesn't seem to have any menace behind it. But you do see maybe behind the ruby, it kind of looks like there's like a lever. Like in the eye socket of this thing. Like again, this massive skull is on this door, right? It's their massive dramatic relief of a skull. So the eye socket itself is like maybe 1.5 feet big. And there's this massive ruby blocking it, and you just see like it almost looks like from a distance you might suspect like an artist was trying to make it look like there's a pupil in this red eye sort of, but actually like when you get up close you realize no, it's not a pupil, it's like a metal rod that's at an angle that's behind the ruby.
I'm going to point it out to everyone and say, should I?
Let's do it.
Okay, let's all stand back.
You'll have to pry the ruby out to get to it first if you want. It's behind the ruby.
I see.
Is it a real ruby?
Seems like it. Biggest one you've ever seen.
Could I knock the ruby out with the arrow?
You can certainly try.
I'll try it.
Yeah. Why don't you make a athletics check? I think that would be.
Oh, athletics.
Oh no, you've got psychic powers. Yeah. Why don't you make an attack roll?
Yeah. So that was a 30.
Okay. Absolutely. So you smack your arrow into that. You willing to spend a psionic talent die to push it up? One of your psionic.
Yeah,
Whatever.
I
Yeah.
will.
Bam! Ruby comes flying out as your arrow strikes it. You pry it out with your hand, and it loosens, and the ruby, ding, 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 rolls along the floor towards your feet, Thea.
Looking at it, does it look like a real ruby?
Definitely looks like a real ruby.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick it up.
Mm-hmm. As you pick it up, you sense something inside.
Uh-oh. Somebody else in here?
you feel some sort of presence. A little confused.
The presence is confused.
Mhm.
I think I go, guys, somebody's in here.
Should talk to it.
Oh man. First I just go hello and try to listen.
You say it out loud.
Yeah.
Frustration.
She'd use that brain thing.
All
Yeah,
right,
no.
I'll do it. Try to see if I could talk without it. Okay. I make a psionic connection.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Who are you?
Really? What? You can hear me?
Yeah, I can speak through the mind, all this stuff. Anyways, are you trapped inside?
I don't fully know.
Know who you are?
Yes.
Great. Who are you?
I was a politician. I don't know how more to say that. I've been in this Ruby for a while though, so I doubt I'm of any significance. Time is weird though. What year is it?
I tell them what year it is.
4 years then.
Well, I tell everyone they've been trapped for 4 years.
When did the bombing happen?
4 years ago.
Wait, what bombing?
Yeah, the bombing that killed Illumina Starborn.
Oh,
Or sorry, the bombing that killed Illumina Starborn.
oh wow.
It can't be that simple, right?
Are you? I ask it. Are you Illumina?
No. She was a good friend of mine though. I was the Primarch of Chalestra. Perilla Ironwalker.
I tell everybody, as they're saying.
Oh, she was great. I voted for her 3 times.
On the same election?
No, consecutively.
You're very popular, from what I hear.
Apparently not popular enough.
Is she popular?
Yes, so little mini Chalestran history lesson here. Not too much. The founding of the Grand Accord was contemporaneous with the founding of the new Chalestran democracy. They hadn't really had one before. They were scattered tribes that didn't have centralized authority. The new democracy certainly has some political problems with the way that it's organized. Let's not deny that. And one of the big problems they made, one of the big mistakes they made was the same problem the United States made, where they said the person who gets the most votes is going to be the Primarch, and the person who gets the second most votes is going to be the Vice Primarch. Definitely not a political mistake to ever make. And the assumption that I think you all should, and any player in any of these campaigns should make, is that Perilla Ironwalker, who was assassinated at the founding of the Grand Accord meeting with Illumina Starborn, probably the Vice Primarch of Chalestra, Magli Black Ice, who we all hate at the time, probably involved in that in some way, shape, or form. So, that gives you there's a little. This is the person that was assassinated that led to the rise of Magli Black Ice the Butthole. So
yeah, can you ask them how the journey from assassination to Ruby encasement took place? Do they know?
Yeah, so I ask them.
I don't really remember. I remember the sensation of, I remember being at the meeting. I remember speaking. I remember introducing Illumina, and I remember Illumina walking to the platform. And then I remember the sensation. It felt like being ripped. Like, you know how like when paper feels, it's like you're ripping it or whatever. It felt like that, except it was my self being ripped from my body. And then I felt like hooks tied into me, cutting through me and pulling me somewhere. And then I saw an explosion. Just those three things in that order. Just ripping from my body, hooks placed in me, and then the explosion.
And can you see now?
No. I don't have eyes.
Can you feel where you are?
I can sense my shape, and I can feel your mind, but no.
Well, I'm not sure we'll know how to get you out right now, but I'll keep you in my pocket. We'll find a way.
It's pretty big for your pocket, but you know.
Maybe I put her in my
What
backpack.
was the name of this person again?
Perilla Ironwalker. I'll put it in our chat. I'll put it in our chat. I'll put it in all chats. Why not? I know how to type.
I think Narash will try to reach out with telekinesis and pull the lever and see if that works.
Yeah, the lever is pulled easily. I need a Constitution saving throw from you, Narash.
Can I do this with resistance?
Resistance would apply.
Sorry?
Resistance certainly would apply.
Oh, would apply. I thought you for a second. I thought you said resistance of what? Oh my
Oh.
god!
Oh my.
Wow, that is a double critical failure.
Wow. Well, that sucks. I've certainly seen worse. That sucks though. Okay, absolutely.
I mean, I don't know if it matters. I'm adding it 2 to that.
Sure. What is that? That gets you to 6. No, that's not going to matter. Narash, you look down and you see as like your stomach starts to decay, and you feel a fair bit of pain, and take 54 points of necrotic damage.
Oh, owie, owie.
And then a voice sounds from there, and it says, "A pyramid has opened in the temple."
Pyramid.
Is it like over a PA system? Like
Yeah, why don't you roll an Arcana check?
critical fail.
I should not have asked you to roll because you have a +11 and the DC is 12 because it's the spell level +10.
Okay.
and it's a level 2 spell. It is a magic mouth spell.
Oh, okay. So essentially, yes, PA system.
Yeah, it's the wizard's equivalent of a PA system.
Um, is it loud enough that it's like is it announcing to the whole like
No, just the room. Just the room.
just the room? Okay, gotcha.
Matt,
Narash,
after
that
taking
is-
this damage, am I continuing to feel like something wrong other than just the pain of the damage?
No, just the pain of the damage.
Okay. I don't
Nika?
feel good.
Narash, that is disgusting. Let's yeah, I guess let's heal you a bit. I mean, I can help some.
Oh, I can help.
That would be great.
Sure.
Thanks.
Yeah, of course. And she like goes over to her body and starts like patting it, and then finds a pocket and like reaches her hand, and her arm goes so deep into this pocket that you become convinced that this pocket is not a normal pocket. And she pulls something out and she offers it to you. It's a healing potion.
Yeah, I desperately chug it because my insides are feeling very colly-wobbly.
Yeah, this will heal you. I'll just roll. 52.
Oh wow!
Nice.
Take
Yeah,
that.
I like smile and there's a little star ding from my front teeth.
Can I? So Lexa is going to sense motive.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Roll insight.
Insight.
Oh yeah. She wants to befriend all of you, definitely, and not is definitely interested in joining, and maybe like looking for weaknesses in the group and exploiting them to her advantage. So it becomes clear that she's the obvious choice in case there needs to be 5 for some reason. She wants to replace one of you. Wonder who that could be.
Okay. All right. I mean, yeah, we all knew that already.
Yeah.
It's nice to be validated.
Yeah, no problem. Here to validate you.
Alexia, you're much more useful to us than I would have imagined. Thank you.
You know, I was trying to tell that to my old team, but they never really listened. They just like stick to the book stuff. And I'm like, okay, fine, I'll stick to the book stuff. And I'd give them advice and they wouldn't listen, you know?
Well, if it makes you feel any better, they're probably all dead.
You know, kind of, but also a little bit of like a sour victory because I also died. Like, had I survived and they had all died because of their stupid mistakes and idiocy, then I would allow myself to gloat a little bit.
You think one of them pushed you?
Kinda.
If you had to, name names, who would it be?
Well, it wouldn't have been. It wouldn't have been Yakin because Yakin was dead already.
That definitely helps. Yeah.
And Mika ran. So probably wasn't Mika. So I'm gonna say probably. I would guess Mika normally, but I don't know. I'm gonna say Plunder. He always has had like a greedy side.
You had a companion named Plunder?
Mhm.
That's kind of on the nose.
Yeah.
Well, everybody, we know 2 of our possible directions to take, and they both seem fairly ominous. Maybe we should rethink having not gone down one of the trapdoors.
Well, what's behind this door?
Oh, it's fake.
Oh, that's messed up.
Oh yeah. Sorry. If you look back there, can you how good are your eyes? What's your can you roll? Can you see back there? Do you see those little runes back there?
We're gonna peer. I peer back there. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you've got good advice. She's pointing at like a collection of arcane runes that are written back there.
Mhm.
I don't know if you can read them or not. Probably not. I'm gonna actually guess because they're like in the wizard language of Old Doc. Yeah, so she points to those runes and she says, "Yeah, I mean they're hard to read, but this says that like opening this door is going to rip open your stomach or your rib cage, actually more specifically, and cause a painful death."
Hey, if you knew that, why didn't you say anything?
I did. I just saw it now. I couldn't see it with the ruby in the way.
Ah.
Hmm.
I said it.
Any other runes you see?
I mean, besides the one over there that says death or extract soul, whatever that means.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
I'll give you
Okay.
a praise. I've got good eyes.
Okay.
Um, Narash, your point is taken. I mean, I was kind of saying all along that first pit seemed very accommodating. Just saying.
What about the second pit, the one that smells like death?
Yeah, maybe we could use that key in that second pit somewhere.
Do we really want to go down a pit that smells like death in a place we know we're going to encounter the undead? What about the last pit that might take us closest to our destination?
That's the one that smells like death.
Oh, is it? Oh, I'm sorry. I got my pits mixed up.
For the record, the first pit was the one that had the staircase down and looked like it was like cleaning, so you get into the and the second pit had nothing. The third pit had the body that had the key in it. The fourth pit had the hole that smelled like death.
Got it. Okay.
And then we have
Sarcophagus.
a passageway lined with sarcophagi.
And a grand staircase down.
I mean, I vote for grand staircase or first pit. I feel like, I wouldn't mind sleeping with
Selecta, you just don't want to get dirty. We understand.
Sorry?
You just don't want to get dirty. We understand.
I totally understand.
I mean, the other thing is you mentioned there was a crack behind one of those sarcophagus.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was enticing. I just we have to be circumspect about walking into a room full of sarcophagi.
Yeah.
What was the word you used? The crack was easily hidden.
That is the word I used.
That's strange. That's verbatim what one of our rumors said.
Oh, can you remind me what that was?
Wasn't it? Or was it hidden easily? There is an artifact. It was mine. There's an artifact that the keeper of the dungeon maintains that could destroy them easily, hidden within the tomb. I don't know if it could destroy them easily or if it is easily hidden within the tomb.
Probably the first one, I think.
I vote check behind the sarcophagus. That's my vote.
Yeah, we might as well follow the rumor.
Yeah, and a room full of zombies, better than just like a curse that attacks your stomach. And I feel like I'd have an approach. I vote for the zombie room, which is what I would call it.
Well, we're already here. Makes sense.
Yeah, I want to see what's behind that crack.
And there, Slexa gets overruled again. And I think Alexia comes up to Alexa and says, I totally feel you. I hate it when the group just overrules the cooler and smarter heads. Okay.
Yeah, well, fine. I guess Narash, you seem to have seem to have this covered. So why don't you and I just go forward and we'll lead everybody into the sarcophagus room, because this group needs a little leadership sometimes. So she's going to pass you a D10 inspiration die.
Nice.
And she's
Yeah.
going to stride confidently into the sarcophagus room.
Yeah.
Can I be reminded of how inspiration die works?
Any skill check or attack roll, any D20 roll, you can add that D10 to. After you roll, you can decide, I want to add that D10 to it. It's like guidance, but better,
Sweet.
but also a used resource.
And it lasts 10 in-game minutes.
Yeah, it'll last 10 in-game minutes, which, as we know, could be anywhere from 4.5 hours or 3 seconds. So 20 minutes later, darn it. No, sorry.
Mm,
I use my inspiration die to have like a really nice daydream.
Beautiful.
And,
so you,
and Celexa will clap Narash on the shoulder, and she's going to briskly walk away from Alexia and make sure that she's the first to the doorway.
absolutely. So the two of you open the door, and what you see before you is a relatively narrow catacomb compared to the room that you were just in. It's 10 feet wide with then, these little vestibules with sarcophagi in them. It's again an L-shaped hallway that's lined with these alcoves, each which has sarcophagi in it. There are cobwebs that cling in thick patches to the tarnished walls, and rust drifts through the stale air. The sarcophagi all in the hallway alternate between gold and silver platings. Each has an angel with a halo embossed upon the lid. There's one that seems to be made of mirror bright. There's also one that seems to be made of brass rather than gold.
Matt,
Yes.
quick question. Just for the world, are angels iconography that we are familiar with in this world?
Yes, it's a little dated. They're from that would probably date them to the 20 Empire. It's not something that any of our current major societies use.
Okay.
So yes. But if you're just sitting there thinking angels sounds weird considering our relationship with celestials, that's the correct response to be thinking yes.
Okay.
I'm not that was not me negating your thing, but it is certainly, yes, that's certainly weird.
Is there anything behind the brass one?
Okay, so you go to the brass one and look behind it, and so like it's like in there. You willing to like pull it out a little bit?
Just pull the sarcophagus out?
Mhm.
Well, can I use my blind sense first just to see if there's something alive in there?
No, there's nothing alive in there. I mean, sorry. Yes, you can use your blind sense. You sense that there is absolutely nothing there. In fact, it is totally empty.
But
Are they all
There's not even a body in that one.
are they all empty?
No.
No. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'll move the sarcophagus.
Absolutely. So you are strong enough. You pull out the sarcophagus, and behind it, you see like a swirling crimson portal.
Ooh.
Okay.
That's behind the brass one.
is it just crimson, or does it seem to have like aspects of the? In fact, I'll just use the shield to see if it's related to the prism god situation.
No.
Can I? So I think Celexa catches a like. I'm imagining pulling out the sarcophagus kind of makes
Yeah.
like a big groaning squeak.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And dust gets kicked up a little bit, and some of the cobwebs come flying off.
So she comes over. She's like, What are you doing? Oh, that's weird. I'm going to like get a little bit closer and see if I can tell anything about this portal.
Absolutely. Why don't you roll an Arcana check?
So 20.
Yes. Hold on, I've got to to give you the answer, I have to know the answer. Okay, you would recognize this as conjuration magic that is a teleportation or movement spell of some sort, fixed to a location, but it is one way.
So, in other words, things go in, but they don't come back.
Yes.
All right. Well, don't touch that thing unless you want a one-way ticket to who knows where. That's all I'm gonna say. But we're looking for shortcuts. Who knows?
Well, you have a teleportation ability. So if we went in, you could get us back.
No, I mean maybe. I could probably get us to another planet if I had to. But other than that, if we don't know where we are, I may or may not be able to help us retrace our steps.
What do you mean? Is that
Like if we end up a mile away somewhere or like thousands of feet underground, there's not much I can do besides taking us to another planet.
is that true? Like out of game?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You couldn't get us back to where we are right now.
I mean,
Ironically, what you could do is
myself
go
and
to
one.
another.
I might be able to get myself and one person back, if we're within distance for Dimension Door.
You have those ruby slipper things though, right?
Ironically, the ruby slippers are like plane shifty type things or planet shifty type things. So what she could do is take us to another planet, and then from that other planet, take us back here.
Okay. That'd be the two.
But then we'd be spent spent for the day, I think.
Yes.
We get the sense that this is, I mean, maybe safe though. We don't know.
Oh, certainly, it appears safe.
Yeah. Okay. Great.
Alexia says that.
Alexia says that. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I don't know. I'm looking at it. I'm not seeing anything wrong with it. It seems like a stable portal.
Is
So
there?
I'm not trying to game the system here too much, but and I've used Rasha in this way just now. But given that they're part of me, I again, it seems a little bit like cheating. If I stuck my hand through and Rasha just like peered their eyes out, I imagine that would still mean that they were transported to the place. If I was not also just by
Sorry, if you want to stick your arm through.
No.
Stick your arm. Okay, so Niraj goes to stick his arm through.
No.
I was asking a question.
Okay.
In fact, I guess I walk up to it and I'm like, oh, maybe not.
It's just like Nova, just like pull him back.
Yeah, Nova just bodily moves him.
Okay, crypts have rats. Yes.
Largely.
Yes.
Okay. Timothy closes his eyes for a second and goes, there. You there, rat friend. How are you doing?
Hi.
Are you tired of the same room you've been living in for God knows how long?
Okay.
Rat, would you like to go on a one-way journey to somewhere new and exciting?
Okay.
Okay. Here, tell you what. Here's some provisions for the journey. And he like grabs whatever would be rodent friendly from his pack, like some crackers. Yeah. Oh, don't eat it all at once. Let's see. Okay, so Timothy like focuses on the rat so he can get that beast's signature. And goes, all right, you're gonna go through this portal, and if I can still sense you, let me know how it is on the other side. Are you ready?
Nods.
Great. You are just, rats are the best, aren't they, Niraj? Aren't rats the best?
Rats, I feel like there are a few vermin on my planet that I prefer, but rats are really very admirable.
Yeah, they're like the fish of the land. All right, here we go.
Okay, what's your range to sense on this spell? Just out of curiosity. Which spell is this, by the way?
Well, I cast Animal Friendship on the rat.
Perfect. Yeah.
But-
Okay, and then you're trying to be sense, which is 5 miles, right?
That is perfect.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. It's certainly less than 5 miles. It's maybe 450 yards. I'm betting 450 meters, something like that.
Okay,
About
okay.
down and southwest of you.
Down and southwest.
Mhm.
And can I do? I can read its basic mood and intent and emotional state. Is it afflicted by magic of any kind? Is it safe?
Yes, it is safe. It's curious. It doesn't have the same reaction to stimuli as you. So I'm trying to think like, how would it care? How would it care? What would it respond to here? I don't know, dude. I guess I think it responds to you. It seems fine. I don't think there's anything here that like a rat would respond to particularly positively or particularly negatively.
It's
seems
not
like
getting like stomped on or spiked or anything.
Nope, not at all.
It didn't find the fantasy cheese cupboard.
It didn't find fantasy cheese. And guys, I think on not finding fantasy cheese, we will take our break. We're a little late for it anyway. Back in 10, everyone. Hey everyone, welcome back to Sagas of the Shimmering Sea. This is the Chosen Few. As always, I like to take a moment here at the top, the second part of the show, to encourage you, yes, you, to think about your position in the world and how you can help make a difference in the lives of others. Silly example, I have a friend who found out that because of, I don't really want to talk about this. Never mind. Shouldn't have said anything. None. Never. Cut. No, we're good. But think about how you can help people, and do what you can to actually help them. Sometimes it's giving them love. Sometimes it's giving them support. Sometimes it's giving them money. Sometimes it's giving them food. Sometimes it's just being there for them when you can. See if you can do it. Normally, I promote other shows on this channel, but this is the last show on this channel. We are slowly winding down. So we'll see you here next week. If you're enjoying the show, come check it out next week. Back to the dungeon crawl. So you find this portal, you send this rat through this portal. You know that there's another sarcophagus that has a crack behind it, which is interesting. And you know that there are the hallway turns and goes to left, and there's double doors at the end of the hallway. So we've sort of got 3 exits from this room. We haven't really found any encounters yet in this room. Maybe. Yet is a key word there. You're muted, Orange.
Sorry, I was muted. Yeah. So we discovered that not every sarcophagus was empty. Do we know any more details about that?
You discovered that one sarcophagus was definitively empty, and asked, "Are the other sarcophaguses empty?" I said no. So, do you want to look inside?
Well, can I
Sorry, please go ahead.
can I walk around using blind sense, see if there's anything alive in any of the sarcophagi?
There's definitely nothing alive, but there is something undead in 2 of the sarcophagi.
I just kind of point like this one.
Is either of them the mirrored one?
Nope.
Shall we see what's behind the mirror one? Noah's like, all right, my job. And
So you go forward and try to pull out the mirrored one.
yeah.
Yeah. Behind the mirrored one, you see that the wall here has a crack in it. Just like a normal crack, except it's pretty long and nothing else has cracks in it, so it stands out to you.
Any reason why this is significant?
It's the only one with a crack. Well, what's are you
like? Is there like does it indicate that there's like something structurally wrong here, or like that there might be a door behind it, or?
Absolutely. Why don't you make a investigation check?
Okay. That is 19 plus 7 is 26.
Yeah, the crack, as you start to get close and examining it and paying attention to it, absolutely is it's subtle, but it's not that subtle. But it's a door that, like, if you had a crowbar, you could push into one side or the other. It's like what do you call it? Like elevator doors almost. You know, they close together. It's a little bit like that.
Okay. I might have a crowbar. I don't know. I have a sword.
Certainly, a sword could potentially work.
Yeah, Rune likes breaking things. What do I have? I have a. Does someone know that they have a crowbar?
No.
How wide is the crack?
It's real thin. It's like it's like less than a piece of cardboard.
Wow.
What are you doing over there?
I think Alexia is talking to you.
Oh, me?
Yeah, what are you
Oh.
doing over there?
Oh, I'm checking to see if I have a crowbar. Do you have a crowbar?
I mean, yeah, it comes with a standard Dungeoneer's kit.
Okay, yeah, I only have an explorer's pack, so that does not come with a crowbar.
Oh, oh yeah. Well, an explorer's pack. That's a really good choice. When the Grand Accord is supplying you, the explorer's pack is really wise, particularly if you're doing a lot of overland travel. That's very smart of you. Do you want to borrow my crowbar?
Sure. Yeah. Thank you.
I'm gonna want it back though. Is that okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
Again, reaches into her extra dimensional pocket space, pulls out a crowbar, and hands it to you.
All right. I'm gonna see if I can pry this door open.
Yeah, make an athletics check.
Okay. And 25.
Door prides open and under the weight of your strength, and as it does, a puff of cold and dead-smelling air comes towards you.
Great. We found more death.
Smells pretty bad.
Do we see anything through the opening?
Yes, you absolutely do. A ramp going down into a cave, it looks like. It's dark down there, no light.
Does the ramp look like similar composition to any other ramps that we might have seen in the dungeon?
Similar in composition to any other ramps that you might have seen. It is more purposeful than the other ramp that you saw. The other ramp that you saw was like a ramp is the wrong word. It was like a cave that spiraled down,
Okay.
maybe a little polished. This looks like a ramp that was built but heads in the same direction. Made of sandstone though, which you haven't seen yet.
Of sandstone, you said.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think based on the rumor that we heard, we should investigate. There might be a major advantage for us down in whatever this place is.
What are you thinking?
Maybe a magic item, maybe information, but I say we at least go take a look and just be prepared for. We've had it easy for the last long 5 minutes, but yeah, let's be on our guard. But let's take a look.
I'm with you, Narash. Full speed ahead. And Selexa will prestidigitate a little bit of the funk out of the air and stride forward down the ramp.
I love it.
With Kumi perched on her shoulder, peering into the dark.
Are you giving us some sort of like sage potpourri situation?
Nice.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Mhm.
sorry. What did your character?
Nova.
What did
Nova?
Nova do with the rock leaking Earth's blood?
Oh yeah. Nova. Before we leave, Nova goes back to the other room. So should I take this or?
Will it fit in your backpack?
How big is it?
Pretty big. It's like 2.5 feet wide.
Oh wow. Let's pick it up on the way back.
Okay.
Anyone need to refill their vials of Earth's blood? Or just me? Just me? Okay.
One of my other parties is screaming right now. I can hear them. I can hear them screaming. Not that they know what. Not that Never mind. Earth's blood, great.
Oh, wait, Earth's blood. Oh, Earth's blood. Yeah, we've got that on tap.
Yeah.
Fill up a vial. Help yourself. There's plenty for everybody to go around.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have an Earth's blood smoothie.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Different tables.
Yeah, I mean, there isn't any strong advantage of taking it, right?
No.
We have some Earth's blood.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I don't know that if this is going to be super relevant to what we're doing now, but I guess Narash would try to take a sample because it seems to be augmented or changed in this strange way. with the other colors as part of it.
Mhm.
So just for future study.
Yeah, absolutely. Makes a lot of sense.
Okay. So we are heading down into down the ramp.
I am glad that you're heading down the ramp. I am glad.
Oh, great.
Great, you say, as if I do horrible things all the time.
No.
You don't. Your dungeon does.
Okay, fair. Okay, so heading down the ramp, you find yourselves in a, what's the word? Big cavern. The ramp stops and turns into just like rock itself. Pretty much unhewn, it seems. This room is massive and pitch black. Do we have a light source here of some sort? Okay, and that gives you 40 feet of light. Is that right? 40 feet of dim, or 20 feet of bright light, 40 feet of dim light, which is really
from ruin being lit.
from ruin being lit by the spell. Yeah, I think that's right. It's a light spell, right? I think that's what cantrip.
Yes, yes. Because Celexa is very helpful like that.
It's true. I was just thinking that Slixa is very helpful. Yeah, so you can't really see that far into this place right now. It's pretty big room.
Kumi could maybe see a little bit further.
Kumi's got 120 feet of dark vision. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Kumi spots a massive crevice. Just like a big hole in the middle of the room. Which swallows most of the ground. Probably pretty deep. The ceiling of the cavern is covered in fog, even in the darkness. And then there are spiky formations of rock and raw metals that jet forth from the ground in columns. Sharp stalagmites riddle their surfaces, as do the dry bones of creatures that have been impaled upon them. And then standing on either side of a giant obelisk is a giant that is undead, gripping a giant axe in silence, not moving.
An undead giant.
Undead giant.
Guys, this place is great. I'm so glad that we came this way. This is awesome. So yeah, watch your step. Don't fall in this big ass hole. And there may be a undead giant over that way. It seems pretty chill at the moment, but we all know how that goes.
Maybe it's fun dead.
I don't. Yeah.
So none of us can see most of what was described. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And so I want to ask Celexa / Kumi, how far away is the undead giant?
Well, there's this obelisk over here, like in that direction. And it's how far away, Matt?
Yeah, sorry, I'm doing the math. From you it would be, it's technically it's 130 feet away. So
Okay.
Kumi moves forward 10 feet and then sees it.
Okay, so I can just barely see it.
Is it on the far side of the crevasse?
Yes.
Yeah.
What is the obelisk like?
Great question. Let's describe it in more detail. It's a black stone, probably about 60 feet tall, and set into the cavern wall. The surface is cracked and weathered. And it seems kind of bright. Like it seems like it's polished, even though it's cracked.
Mm. So I'm imagining it's deep into this pitch black room.
Yeah.
So I'm imagining it's just giving off like the faintest glimmer of reflection, like maybe from the light spell or something. It just
Yeah,
catches
exactly. Like it's just like you see like an echo of the light spell.
Mm. So
Well, should we head towards the obelisk?
Yeah, let's get closer to this giant creepy undead thing that's guarding this forbidding pillar of stone. That sounds like a great idea. Let's head that way. And Celexa will just start walking towards the crevice.
Alexia leans into Thea and just whispers loudly, she's really brave.
Yeah, we follow her through a lot of stuff.
I bet you do. I bet you do. Seems to be working out great for you. Okay. So, Slexa, you start making your way forward, and like there's this small, narrow passageway that seems to cross a part of the crevice. It doesn't get you all the way there, but it gets you a good chunk of the way across, but it's really narrow.
How wide is the crevice?
Let me measure. Let's see, that says 48. This is a 10-foot thing. So 96 feet across.
96 feet, not like it goes, it's
96 feet widthwise, and then across the most of the crevice, the average part of the crevice would be 40 feet across. But if you follow this skinny passageway down, then you would only have a 10-foot across jump, if that makes sense.
Okay. Got it.
And at the bottom, there's like spikes.
The spikes are sort of around the room, actually. The crevice doesn't seem to have spikes. It seems to be just a deep, deep pit.
Great.
Mm.
So Narash is going to move forward after Celexa, and comes up to the crevice, I think, and wondering at what point. I guess it matters if Nova is also following. I'm just wondering at what point things become visible to the rest of us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm gonna. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna. We'll just do that. Let's see, and then make it. I don't know what's a good color. It's a nice pale color, yellow for light. That makes sense. Is that right? Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, is that big? That's a little big, but whatever. Okay, let's just move the party. So the map here, these are 10-foot squares, just for the record. So who knows where we are. And this the darkened area, that's the crevice. This is the narrow path that Slexa could cross. These spiky things, these are the spikes. This square, that's the obelisk, and the D's are the death giants.
The what?
The death giants.
Death giant.
Oh, there's two of them.
One on either side of the obelisk.
What is F, or is that just the room?
That's the room.
Okay. So we would have to pass right by one of the big death giants.
Probably.
Mm-hmm.
I think Narash will investigate the death giants as well, if I can see them now, to sort of determine like what manner of creature they are. Although it seems kind of clear there's some sort of undead creature.
Yeah. Actually, that's a really compelling question. Can you roll for me a perception check.
Yes. That's a 17.
Yeah, this is gonna sound wild and bizarre, but these things don't look terrestrial to you. They look like undead versions of a certain massive creature that you guys fought semi recently on Dregma.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Gosh, could it be? Oh, could it be those? I can't remember what they were called. Those colossuses that were in the church.
Yep.
The
Except
statue, the
undead.
statue,
Yep.
the giant like colossus statue.
Yep.
Oh, huh.
Wow.
How did they get here?
You're not asking me, right?
No, more musing to the universe.
Oh, okay. Yes. Fair, because I'm well studied and very smart, but I just don't know.
Yes, yes, you're a font of knowledge. Do these give off celestial vibes to Timothy?
Mm. Uh, as you pay close attention to them, the answer is no. They give off undead vibes. Their undead nature. If you would know that their undead nature is almost always going to trump their former nature.
Okay.
If you come across an undead horse, you don't get beast vibes.
Well, I don't know if it makes sense that I'm saying this, but they are rather far away, and I don't know if they can get over the crevice. Maybe we should just shoot them from a distance.
Yeah. And maybe we could try to lure them into the pit.
Yeah. Or we could try to sneak past them.
Oh, I like this idea. Narash, don't you have uh like a stone spell? If we lured them close to the edge, we could just disappear the edge.
Yes, I could do that. That's true. Although I could only cast it once, having cast it recently.
Ah,
How large of an area can you do?
Give me one moment. I'll tell you. A 40-foot cube.
Are they 10 feet wide, or is that a different scale?
No, these things are huge. These things are 40 feet across.
40 feet across.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So we can get,
So sorry, they're 20 feet across. They're 20 feet across. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
it's gonna be
these are
hard
10
to get
feet
both of them.
Yeah.
And Narash, do you have to be right next to the area that you do this to?
No, I can do it at a distance of 120 feet.
Yeah. We could take the little path going to the right and fire from there and see if we could get him to the little knob, little bump in the middle, and then get rid of that.
mhm.
Theoretically, I could aim the spell around here and potentially try to just have that creature fall into the pit. Yeah, I don't know, and we also don't really know what threat, if any, these spiky things are. Somehow, I don't think they're going to give us a nice spiky hug.
Mm.
The undead giants also have done nothing. They're still.
Yeah, I was just going to mention that. So, do they appear to be like actually kind of like frozen, or can we see that they have eyes that are like peering around the room or anything?
There's no eyes and they're not moving. They're like a statue.
Okay, well, I suggest we take one of the routes and approach, and we can try our plan with the transmute stone spell if one of them starts to attack us.
The one thing I would say is about casting it to the next to the left one is if you cast the stone spell there, it'll be a much farther jump for us to get across.
If they do wake up and chase, and somebody gets chased to the edge, I can also, I can grab you and move you to safety while Narash melts the stone. So that could be an emergency plan.
Okay.
The other thing that might be worth checking out is this path that goes to the right by the spikes, just to see if there's anything over there before we hop across.
There's definitely spikes over there.
Sure.
Yeah.
That sounds okay to me.
I would do that. Let's do it.
Sure.
You guys cross over to the right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So the spikes over here, Nova, why don't you make an investigation check?
Okay. 25.
Something has bodily lifted up several creatures and impaled them upon the spikes for a gruesome death. Almost all these things are now decayed to bones. But now that you see this more clearly, you do see one on the other side that is a like a hobgoblin. There you go. That is impaled on one of them that still has some flesh on.
Alexia, anyone you know?
Huh?
I point to the corpse. Could that have been one of your companions?
Yes, Plunder.
R.I.P. Plunder.
Guess Plunder's dead. That sucks.
I can feel your grief.
Kumi's gonna crawl to the edge and look down into the crevice.
Mm-hmm. Crevice is 150 feet deep, and so Kumi sees,
It's
almost at the bottom, but like, oh god, it's deep.
It's just like a rocky crevice.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you fall, you'll take 15d6 damage.
Fun.
And what is the composition of the spikes? Did you say?
Yeah, really weird, actually. Very, very weird. Let's focus on this for a second here. The composition of the spikes are, let's see, they shoot up. They're like 30 feet tall, and let's see, where's my description? Rock and raw metals sort of mixed together. There's no way this is a natural formation. Obviously, things don't form like this, but just like there's like a bronze and rock spike, there's a rocky spike, there's a steel spike, there's an iron spike, there's a rock and iron spike, there's one with like sort of weird colors on it. Not shoot, stop saying that, Matthew. Weird in a like a bad rock way, not in a creepy color magic way.
Rock way, yeah. So there's something to this idea that we're encountering through this dungeon a lot of metals and like bronze, silver, this sort of formation of metals. I don't know what it means, but it's something to note for us.
Does it is it so the bodies look like they were like thrown onto the spikes?
Why don't you roll a medicine check?
Great.
This is, to be fair, reverse engineering violence medicine check, but it's still medicine check.
Anyone want to assist with that?
Sure, I can assist. Yeah, this is CSI Isaim.
Yeah.
All right. And that's a 10, 17.
Nice. Yeah, you would assess that what has happened to these bodies, whatever they were, is that something bodily picked them up and just slammed them into the spikes, almost as if they were used as a crushing / piercing device by a giant. Not that there's any giants around here that would do something like that.
It's a mystery.
It's just a mystery.
You're
Well,
saying
then we're
that the spikes were picked up?
No, the people were picked up and slammed onto the spikes.
Okay.
So,
So
so,
I'm-
so then that
They
would
were
mean
grappled and restrained, lifted into the air, and slammed repeatedly into the spikes until they died.
Oh, God.
Great.
so that would mean the giants are able to get over to where we are
Yeah.
probably easily.
I mean, unless they hurled them, but probably you're right.
Doesn't sound like that.
Well, hold on. Let's just, for the sake of argument, Timothy looks around to see if there's any evidence of maybe a third giant having been there at one point, since there are 3 spike columns.
Oh, interesting. That's a great question, Timothy. Where do you look? What do you
I
look?
think you would be tracking for like tracks. Like, is there evidence that maybe there was a third one that went over the edge, or
Yeah, roll investigation check.
okay.
Can I assist?
Sure.
Thanks. Well, the big 12.
Hard to tell. If so, it was a long time ago.
Okay.
Mm.
Also, is Plunder reachable? Is Plunder's body reachable?
It's on this pike. I'll push it right here. So if you can get over to that thing, then it
On
would
that one.
theoretically be ritual.
Okay.
Any evidence of half a key on any of these dead bodies?
I don't know.
Can
Not
I-
on the ones on this side.
Okay, cool.
Oh, so Plunder's body was on that one down there. Are
Mhm.
there any bodies on the one next to us?
Oh yeah, there are plenty of them, but
Okay.
nothing fresh.
Okay.
Nova, do you have some rope?
Oh yeah.
Do you want to tie one end of the rope to this, and Kumi will reach out with Roderick.
Sure. Nova ties a nice tight knot.
Okay. Roderick now has a knot around him.
So Kumi will grab that and scramble up the side of the rock
Mhm.
and fix Roderick like kind of halfway across with the rope tied to it.
Yeah. So we have a rope swing,
Mhm.
like an Indiana Jones vine.
Exactly.
I love it. I love it. Yes, there's now a rope swing for those who wish to rope across. I see a face palm.
Who's going first?
Alexia, you seem motivated to have a second shot at this.
Yes.
Lead
What
the
do you
way.
want? Oh, to the other side?
Yeah. If you feel
Okay.
brave enough.
Yeah, of course. 100%. I'm definitely brave enough. Quick question though, just so that I don't, do something that the group doesn't want me to do. Is the intent for this to be quiet and try not to trigger them, or is the intent to be like loud and not worry about triggering them and then just like have me be the strike force, or should I go try and be quiet and like just expect violence?
A quiet approach is wise.
I think that the last one.
Go quiet, but just in case there's violence.
Always expect violence.
Yeah.
You know what? I've got just the spell for this moment. Hold on one second. She reaches down and she pulls out from her pocket. It's like a tiny pocketbook, and she starts flipping through it, and she points. She starts chanting. Okay, I think that'll work. He like grabs the rope from. He's not gonna like pull a prank on me or anything, is he? Because he's got a reputation for pulling pranks.
Ooh.
Kumi,
Oh.
they're not gonna
No.
pull a prank, right?
No, you'll be fine.
Here we go. She runs and jumps and swings on the rope. 14. I'll take it. And she lands on the other side, and you'd expect her to hear like a thunk where she lands, because she lands kind of hard, but no sound occurs.
Oh.
She lands there, and she throws the rope back.
Timothy will go next, I think.
Yeah. Make an athletics check.
Okay. Narash? Could you-
Let me give you a hand with that. I'm gonna
Thanks.
give him a little push.
Thanks. With a D4, right?
Yep, you get a D4 too. 15 is success. You're good. You land on the side. Bam. Make it to this side, and also no sound.
Wow.
Yeah, no,
I
we'll
think-
go next. Or
Hmm.
something.
Athletics check from Nova.
All right. Narash, you giving those things out for free, or?
Oh my God, yes. Not only am I assisting with guidance, I'm going to try to give everyone a little shove with my mage hand.
Okay. Just
Hey.
yeah, and
A solid success.
cool. Okay. That's very low for me.
It's true.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Thea will go next. Oi, an 8.
Okay. Have any recovery abilities or anything that you want to pop out here? Because the rope is slipping in your hands a little bit. Your hands are sweaty.
I mean, you would have
Wait.
gotten assistance from me, so you can roll a
Okay.
D4. I don't know. I mean, obviously, that's still gonna not be a success.
Let me see. My psionic talent. Maybe
Yeah.
could
Do you
help.
have a psionic thing that you can do to cheat the situation?
Okay. If you fail an ability check using a skill or tool with which you have proficiency, you can roll your psionic die. Blah blah blah.
Does not. You might have. Yeah, it looks like you have proficiency with athletics.
Yeah, I think
Cool.
so.
So you want to add a psionic die to that?
Yes. Let me check how big it is. D10. All right.
Hey, look at that. That puts you from 8 to a 15, and you solidly and happily make it to the other side using a psionic telekinetic push.
Okay, I guess Narash is going to step up to the rope. Athletics is not Narash's strong suit. So here goes.
Oh,
Oh,
You were not kidding. So Naj, you jump for the rope. Yeah, go for it.
You
Recall
have
that I already
inspiration
had
high. I don't know if
double-
it'll help, but
And you do have a D10 if you want to add the D10.
Gosh, should I do that or should I just shift? No, I think I'm gonna just shift. So I'm gonna shift into my large bird form, which I'm large kind of prehistoric bird form, which I'm forgetting the name of right now.
The Quetzalcoatl.
Yeah, exactly. And Quetzalcoatl flaps as quietly as possible and restrains a loud, frustrated caw.
Absolutely. Yeah, can you make a stealth check for me?
Yes.
In your large bird form.
That's a 17.
Beautiful. Yeah. So you are quiet.
And I want to just do a quick dip down to the bottom of the chasm to see if I can see anything interesting.
Absolutely. Yeah. Can you roll a perception check for me?
Yes. 29.
Absolutely. Yeah, you do sort of tucked away in one of the corners find the remains of a third giant. It is deceased though, entirely. Not just undead, but deceased undead.
It's re-dead.
It's re-dead.
Okay. Well, I'm going to fly back up and as gingerly as possible land on the side of the chasm.
Yeah, are you landing near the party or away from the party?
Near the party.
Kumi will tug the rope back to Celexa,
Mhm.
Who is going to grab onto it and take a running jump.
Kumi, I think, provides advantage here because Kumi is like capable of helping you in a way that Kumi can't help other people. And you make it solidly across and also land in this place. And Alexia looks at you all, puts a finger to her mouth, and then raises her hand. And suddenly sound comes rushing back, and you didn't even realize how quiet it was because everyone's sort of focused on being quiet. But she ends her silence spell.
I think I create a psionic link between everybody. Everyone can chat.
Matt, remind us what the F is. Oh, that's right, room F.
Room F,
Room F.
sorry. Yes. Room F, in case anyone's curious what room you're in.
Totally fair.
Sometimes I'm frequently I'm too lazy to change my maps from Dungeon Master to group. So.
Does Narash let us know about the third giant?
I'm not really capable of doing that. Am I correct?
Psionically, though. Psionically.
Yes. Of course. Yes, yeah, right.
Okay.
Huh, see? I told you.
Yeah, I do a bird giant dance. And point with my massive beak.
We're just like, we can talk.
Okay. So let's silently make our way over to the obelisk.
Mhm.
That's our goal,
Roll
right?
stealth.
Sounds
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Roll
Oh.
stealth.
As we're sorry.
No, go ahead.
As we're passing the giants, can I know your enemy?
Oh yes, absolutely. Use this ability. We never get to use this ability. Yeah. What do you get? You get 3 questions. Is that right?
Let me bring that up. Okay. Spend at least 1 minute observing. Tells you if the creature is equal, superior, inferior regarding following characteristics of your choice.
Okay.
I would like to know. Let's see. What I can do: strength, dex, constitution, armor, hit points, class levels, or fighter class levels. I'm gonna assume that most of these things are higher than mine anyway, so I don't know how useful this is.
I
But
kind of agree, but I'll answer questions nonetheless.
yeah, how about hit points?
How many hit points do you have?
I have 188 with 8 temporary.
Yeah. About double.
Okay, yeah. And how about strength? I have a 20.
Higher.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Well, I don't know how useful that was.
1.5 times higher.
Huh?
1.5 times higher.
Okay.
We've got a strength of 30.
Okay, cool.
Do you get anything else?
2. I get 2.
Okay. There you go. You now know those two things.
Okay.
Timothy, you were going to do something.
Was that? No,
Hmm?
no, we're good.
Okay. Thea, you were going to do something?
No.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
What is the height of the cavern that we're in? Or can we see the ceiling, I suppose?
From here, the height is like 60 feet up.
Okay. I
And the
think that
ceiling is covered. We don't actually know what the top of the cavern looks like, right? Because it's covered in fog.
Yes, there's fog covering the top of the cavern.
I think that in this Quetzalcoatlus farm, Narash would not be kind of like shuffling forward towards anything right now because I think it might be clumsy on the ground. So I think I'm going to take flight again and go kind of hover in the air, but then also go up closer to the fog to investigate.
Okay. Yeah, roll a perception check for the Quetzalcoatlus in the fog.
Oh, and we all do have cloaks of elven kind.
Yes. This is the perfect circumstance for them.
Wow. That's a 3.
Excellent. Cool. I'm gonna have you as a Quetzalcoatlus roll a dexterity saving throw for me.
Oh,
Because
dear.
you get too close to this fog. Yes?
Was that supposed to be a perception check?
It was supposed to be a perception check.
Oh,
Was it?
well, that'd be much different.
Oh, well,
Uh,
why don't you roll again then?
That's that's a 30. Nat
Well,
20.
then never mind. I don't need you to roll a saving throw. So as you look at the fog, you before you can get too close to it to even see much of anything about it, you realize that parts of it is like being sucked up into some sort of vortex up there, and you feel the pull or the drag at least on your wings.
Wow. Okay. Wow. This is just totally changing my thoughts about what I should have done with my spells for this session. Um, okay. In that case, I will reverse course and come back down to about 30 feet up
Mhm.
and hover there, just observing for the time being to see if I need to come back to my original form or if I can help in this way.
Okay. And what about the rest of you?
I'm gonna put on my cloak.
Mhm. Make
and-
a stealth check as you make your way towards the obelisk, if that's what you're doing.
Yeah.
Stealth checks all around then.
Oh, that gives me nothing. Maybe I will hold back and not approach because Nova's wearing heavy armor.
So so an elven cloak will make you roll a straight roll, I believe. Is that right?
Yeah, yeah. Nova's gonna hold back.
Okay. I think you see as Alexia is like about to take a step forward, and you realize that she also is not wearing a elven cloak because she doesn't have access to that sort of thing. If you want to like tap her shoulder or something, I'm not saying you
Yeah.
should.
So I give her the no. We're all connected.
Yeah.
Don't stay back with me.
I mean, don't we want
Flexa doesn't. Flexa doesn't either, but she will enhance her dexterity.
Nice. Okay. So Thea and Timothy, you two make it over towards the obelisk.
Oh, Selexa's coming too. She's rolling right now.
Oh yeah, feel free.
So
And
22.
you also make it to the obelisk. I'm very impressed. This was a. Never mind. So you make it over to the obelisk. This black stone obelisk is around 45 feet tall and is partially set into the cavern wall. Though its surface is cracked and weathered, it is reflective. And as you look into it, you see your reflection, but it's not you. It is like a armored version of you that has no flesh. It mirrors your movements, but it's an undead version of you.
Yeah, that's creepy.
A little ominous.
Should we touch it?
Are there any distinctive features on it? Like,
You roll an investigation check for me.
okay.
I would like to assist.
You absolutely can assist. Take that advantage.
26.
Outline of a door is visible on the surface of the obelisk, and a silver keyhole is set into the middle of this door. Also, there's a this is a minor thing, but you notice that there's a glowing rune, not glowing. So there's a darkish rune on the top of the like high on the obelisk. It's out of reach from here.
Is it anything that like can I read it?
Arcana check. It is a sigil of haste.
Oh, a sigil of haste, as in it could cast the haste spell.
Mhm.
Got it.
Thea, you had a question?
I think I have the half of the key.
And
think
it
I'm-
would fit perfectly if it was a whole key.
Okay.
And I think with that, we're going to call it a day. Come back and see if we can open the obelisk, or maybe not. I don't know. We'll figure it out. And with that, everyone, thank you so much for watching. Live good and happy lives. Let's hand out some exp. I forgot about exp. Let's not forget about exp. Let's see. Do this, Matthew. Don't forget to do this. Move at the speed that you can move. Okay, let's do this then. Did you strengthen, help, or guide the Grand Accord and its allies for the better today?
Yeah, we revived someone from the Grand Accord.
Giving you a point there. Did you address a challenge in a creative or surprising fashion today?
Do we have a second on the first one?
Sure, if you want.
I don't know. I was just this before we move on.
Wait, what did Ami? What did you say for that one?
So
We
we revived Alexia.
Yeah.
I think
Oh yeah.
Hmm?
The ruby.
The ruby.
Absolutely. You want to say we recovered Prilla? I'm fine with that. Sounds good to me. Did you address a challenge in a creative or surprising fashion?
Rodney, or no,
Yep.
Roderick for
Roderick.
Yep.
with the rope swing, you mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the rope swing. Definitely. Anything else?
And the rat.
And the rat. I agree. Both those. 100%. Did you uncover or learn anything new about your enemies? Did you find a way to weaken your enemies in a significant fashion?
Oh, no,
I don't think yet. You're toying around with it, but you're getting close, but I don't think you did yet. Did you overcome a particular challenge that was not included above?
I don't know if this is overcoming a challenge, but I sent Rasha through the door. Yeah, I mean,
Sure. Sounds good to me.
We
Fair credit.
didn't wake the giants.
I think if you get out of the room without waking the giants, I'll give you credit for that.
Fair.
I'm not going to give you credit for ending the session before they wake. And last but not least, did you accomplish your guiding light, your thingamajig, Narash?
I think still no for me.
Okay. Selexa, probably same for you. Thea?
Yeah, we worked well together.
Strongly agree. Timothy?
I revived that lady, so yes.
Absolutely. And Nova?
Did I throw myself into danger today? I mean, yes, but not like the most. I jumped over the chasm and we went down into the scary place. I don't know.
It's your call. I feel like typically Nova like goes first in these things, and Selexa's like on her leadership arc. So Selex has been going first a little bit. So I think that that's sort of been trumping your go into danger first thing.
Okay.
But it's your decision.
Nah, I think not today.
Sounds good to me. Okay. That's a 7-point session and good stuff all around. Okay. Excellent. And with that, we will call it a day. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Go live good and happy lives. Please take care of yourself. Take care of someone else. And don't forget the most important advice that we can offer you is always remember to call your cat and feed your mom.